What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out the XBloom Studio, which promises barista quality coffee at just the push of a button. But does it live up to the hype? Let's find out. Special thanks to XBloom for sending this unit out for us to review, as well as some tasty coffee. If at any time during this review you'd like to pick one up for yourself, please use the link in the description. It would help the channel out, and I will try to get you all a discount on this machine as well. Before we dive into the review on this channel, we talk about tech from an intentional living and minimalist perspective. We love tech that marries form and function. So if that sounds cool to you, please consider subscribing and like this video for more. All right, I'm just gonna come out and say it. This is one of my favorite products that I've ever reviewed on the channel, and I said that about another coffee machine in the past. There's something about a company that is so intentional about design and how things work that just it's so good. And I'm even noticing little design quirks right now that I haven't even noticed. So props to the company on design. I just wanted to start with that. We are in love with this machine here at the studio. You know, that aside and that bias aside, let's dive into what makes this machine great. This is not like your average, coffee maker, like something you'd put the pot under and brew a bunch of coffee with, a floppy filter and stuff like that. So this actually combines a scale, a grinder, and the brewer all in one. So it's kind of designed for those who want like the craft pour over coffee experience, that you would like go to a coffee shop and they would stand there and do the pour over with the kettle and that kind of stuff, which takes quite a bit of time. Not quite a bit, but it takes time. You can do that in your home, same sort of quality with this machine, and it does it all for you. I think something that's pretty cool is there's actually 3 brewing modes on this machine. So there's autopilot, which is where you use their actual, what they call XPods, kind of like a Keurig pod. And you put it here, you scan the card it comes with, and it does all the work for you. It grinds it, it's weighed out appropriately, it does the appropriate amount of water, even the different types of pours and shaking the cup and all that stuff. It's all done for you, it's automatic, it's fascinating to watch. And it's perfect for fast mornings or like beginners who aren't really into the whole pour over idea but want to get into it. So the second mode is called co-pilot mode, which is for those of you who want to have a little more control over things. You can actually bring your own beans, you can use their filters, you can weigh it out here on the scale, you can grind it to your liking, you can get into the app, which has a lot of functionality, or just use the knobs here to sort of navigate through this really interesting digital menu here to just give you a little bit more play and control over what's happening with your coffee. And then there's free solo, which is basically like you would normally do. You're handling all those aspects. You're dialing in your grind size. You're dialing in how much water goes in with each pour. If you wanted to just squirt the water straight down or go in a circle or even like spiral it, there's a lot of customization you can do here, like I said, or in the app, there's even more customization there. And speaking of that like way it's pouring, this machine features what they call a kinematic pouring spout, which basically pours the water in a stream that doesn't like break up. It's a very precise stream, and like I said, you can either go straight down, you can go in a circle, or you can kind of get this spiral motion. So that just allows you to have a more precise pouring method, even more precise than maybe a barista doing it, depending on how good they are. That mixed with the nanofilm heating system allows you to have a very exact extraction of the coffee through the beans. All right, so the machine also has a conical burr grinder, which is housed in this area, and there's up to 80 different settings in terms of how fine you want the grind to be. And because all of that's obviously encased here, it actually has an ionizer and a sweeper to keep the whole grinding system clean. So as I mentioned earlier, you can actually buy the XPods from xBloom online if you want. They can come in different bags or a variety of different coffees. And each of those comes with a little card with a NFC reader that actually gets scanned right here on top, and then that tells the system the recipe that has been sort of perfected for that specific type of coffee. Something cool about the XPods is they're actually made from this like sugarcane fiber, and they're meant to break down within 30 days. So as far as like sustainability of having these sort of quick to use and dispose of pods, they actually break down fairly quickly, which I think is pretty awesome. So I think what I really love about the machine personally is how precise you can get with the app and everything, But also, if you don't have a lot of time, you can just scan a card or pick one of the recipes on the app and just let it go for you. I think we've had a lot of fun just trying different recipes. There's even like a community of recipes, which is interesting. You can make your own, you can play around with that. So there's a lot of play happening here, even though when it comes to actually creating the coffee, it's super precise and easy to use. So I think it mixes this sort of like endless playground with precision and accuracy as well. It's hard to explain. It's just really fun to use the scale and everything. There's actually a scale here and here as well. So as it's pouring, you'll see like your water weight and then your coffee weight, because this is measuring how much water is being added and this is measuring how much coffee has been extracted. So there's really cool stuff in the app you can watch too. And then obviously up here on this screen that they've built into the system, you can see the time that's passed and the amount of water and stuff like that. This is just so fun. And I mentioned earlier, the design is just incredible. I love this like minimalist, I don't know if I would call it like brutalist design, possibly, but I'm seeing this sort of pop up in a few places. And I think this just looks stunning in a kitchen, in an office, really anywhere. This just looks elegant, sleek. I've said it before, form and function. It is perfectly married in this system. But let's talk about some potential drawbacks for those of you thinking about buying the machine. First of all, it's $500, just that's the rate of the machine. So like I said, I'll try to get a discount code for you all, but I'm not entirely sure if I can yet. So it's expensive. I mean, you can go out to Kroger or Target or wherever and buy just like a pot of coffee machine for like, what, 30 bucks, something like that. But I think with everything I've mentioned so far, maybe you understand the price and every thought and attention to detail that went into creating this to make the price point what it is. I'll also say this is made for single servings. So if you're wanting to have a bunch of people over and brew a cup of coffee, this ain't it. It's gonna take quite a while for you to make a coffee for everyone. I think that's what makes it fun and part of the fun experience. We have it here at the office, the studio, and when we have a client come in, we can be like, hey, can I make you a coffee? And it's this fun, entertaining machine to watch. But if you're used to making like 4 cups of coffee and draining them all in the morning, this is gonna take a little bit more time. So that could be a downside. The next thing is if you aren't using the pods, which I don't think they're really that expensive. I mean, they're premium, and because they're packaged in a pod, they're gonna be more expensive than doing it yourself. But if you're not using the pods, which is totally fine, we have bags of coffee here we've been playing around with too. You are gonna have to weigh out the beans. I found like 15 grams is like the sweet spot for a lot of the recipes. So weigh out the beans, pour them into the grinder. It's just another step that you have to get into. Also, the filters are very thick and almost feel like you're getting 2 or 3 at a time compared to like other thin filters you would normally use with a coffee pot. So they're great filters, but you're gonna have to buy those as well. And of course, single use, which I understand most filters are, but you're not gonna be making like 4 cups of coffee. It's gonna be 1 cup of coffee per filter. The final thing is it doesn't do espresso or like steam milk or anything. So if you're trying to compare this to like a super automatic machine or an espresso machine, this is for pour over lovers who love the taste of coffee and finding the subtleties in it. It's just black coffee, which I love. I know a lot of people don't. So don't look to this to be your sort of all-in-one coffee machine. So should you buy it? Well, that's always the hard question, isn't it? I think this is for the type of person that would go to a coffee shop and order a pour over coffee, or for those who don't like doing espresso drinks and lattes and things like that. You just want that coffee in the morning. And if you want it to be delicious and next level, this is where it's at. It's obviously like a talking piece. It is a attention grabber. It looks amazing. I mean, with this thing off, which it is right now, it even just looks nice. Just the design, it's just beautiful. But yeah, we've been blown away with this machine. We're potentially thinking of changing our studio, and in the new studio, they might run a water line for us, and you can do a water line into the machine. So we'll have unlimited water coming into this thing. It'll be just super easy to go up there, figure out what recipe we're doing for the morning, and brew our delicious coffee, fill up the office with the wonderful coffee smell. So as you can tell, I personally love this thing. We love this thing here at the studio. I think anyone who buys this is going to love it if you sort of fit into that type of person I mentioned earlier. But thanks again to xBloom for sending out the xBloom Studio for us to review. And thanks to you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing, like this video for more, watch this video next. I think you're gonna love it. And we'll see you all in the next one.